There we go. Welcome to Self-Publishing with Dale L. Roberts, and I am very excited today. We're going to take a huge departure from my normal ranting and raving and my scripted jump cuts and such, because I want to really approach self-publishing and show you guys that there really is a humanistic quality to it. And there are some great people out there making a huge difference in the world. And I'm just so fortunate that I get exposed to so many people. So if you haven't subscribed to Self-Publishing with Dale L. Roberts yet, I would highly advise you do so now, because I actually have other authors in the pipeline. In fact, next month, I'm going to say this, I'm just going to give a little bit of a hint. Next month, I have got one of the top 100 Amazon authors today coming next month. And I'm so excited to bring her to the show from Vancouver, over up in Canada, our friends up in Canada. So Lorraine Nelson's her name. I haven't had a definite time set. I said I was going to say a hint. Fuck it. That's the way we roll on this show. Right, Forrest?
Yeah, man.
So I am really, really jacked to actually share someone I just met recently in my good friend Jason Brock's Facebook group called The Hustle Project. His name is Forrest Neal. Forrest is an author and entrepreneur from Mobile, Alabama. He was buying, repairing, reselling smartphones online, and that was when he became his first successful business. That was in high school. You can tell already, this kid is young, and he's up and coming. Well, one day during football practice in his senior year, he suffered fractures to his T3 and T4 right here in the neck, right back here. I'm pointing at the chest. It's actually in the neck. And he was forced to sit out from sports for the rest of the year. The injury caused him to miss over 40 days of school, and he barely graduated after attending remedial classes for his failing grades. Forrest became physically dependent on his ADD medication and was prescribed Adderall 3 times, not once, not twice, 3 times per day. Adderall, good friggin' Lord. That was to allow him just to simply focus and attempting the simplest of tasks like cleaning his room. That's why he needed that. When his mental health began to rapidly decline, he began to search for a much more healthy and natural technique to help him focus. He began attending classes regularly at the Meditation Center of Alabama. And before I go any further, I think we're going to probably cover a little bit of this ground here and talk about this, not only in self-publishing and why he's in self-publishing and what he's doing these days. But any event, he also posts content regularly to his blog and YouTube channel about his journey through entrepreneurship and personal development. Forrest, I'm very ashamed to say, I don't know where your YouTube channel is, so we're going to have to find that out for sure. And I want to say, Forrest Neal, welcome to Self-Publishing with Dale L. Roberts.
All right. Thank you so much. I'm just super excited to be here and to have a great conversation with you and hopefully help a lot of people out.
Dude, I think that you actually have something big on your hands. So just to kind of do a little bit of bragging for you, because I'm sure you're probably not going to do it. You're like my buddy Kevin S. Allen. I can't be able to get you to brag about shit at this point. I think that it's really awesome to kind of share that you actually have a book out on meditation. And I bought it. I got it. And actually, I've read about half of it. You've got a very good natural style. It's not regimented. It's not like, it's not real rigid. You'll read some meditations books and it just kind of is like, you're ready to fall asleep partway through it. But you really have a very personal touch to this. It's almost like having a conversation with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And that's just because it's been so impactful in my life that I can just express it in a way that I don't have to sugarcoat anything. And I think that that's like what sets me apart. I've read also a lot of books about meditation, and it almost seems like the people who are writing these books are competing with one another to see like which one is more enlightened, or which one has like a better, spiritual outlook.
Yeah.
But I just have had such great obstacles that I've used meditation to overcome, that I've just naturally been able to express those ideas. And I haven't felt like I needed to just give extra information or to write it in a way that would just attract certain people. Like I'll just write it the way that it really is, and because I think that the way that it really is can be very inspiring to a lot of people.
Yeah, it really is. I give kudos to you. I read a lot of self-published authors, and I have to admit, I'm very hard to impress. There are times that I really go into it very skeptical, because what I find is there are a lot of people out there with the shotgun method. They're just shooting out publications for the sake of shooting out publications, and there's no real heart
Mhm.
to it. I can tell with you that it's real heart. If you don't mind, I would like to definitely just hang about on this book. So just to share with people, this actually is a #1 bestseller on Amazon. So tell me the title, and we're going to kind of roll on from there, because I'm going to ask a lot of questions about this book.
Okay, well, yeah. Well, the title of it is The Power of Meditation. And I wrote this book, just like I said earlier, just because it was so, meditation has been so impactful to my life. And I've just been so lucky to be surrounded by people, by extremely intelligent people, doctors, and people who have gone to school and have studied meditation at an academic perspective. And I've been able to have those people guide me along my path of personal development and to overcome the obstacles like my broken back and my ADD medication that I just couldn't get over. I had such great influential people in my life who were telling me about meditation and who were guiding me along the path. And it was just so huge that I absolutely had to write a book about it. I was compelled to do it. I knew that it was a huge part of my life, what I had just done and started practicing meditation. And it was way more impactful than I thought it was going to be. So I wanted to write a book that might open the door for a lot of people who have a huge misconception about meditation, because it's a practice that's been passed down for thousands of years, and that's for a reason, because it's effective. And I think that a lot of people get caught up in sort of like the religious aspects of it, or just, all sorts of baggage that comes along with the word. But it's a great practice. It's almost like an exercise that everybody should be doing. And so that's why I just knew I needed to write a book to let more people know about it.
That's really cool, and it's really kind of neat to hear you talk about it. I know we can probably spend an entire show talking about meditation itself. However, what I would like to do is just focus on the full process. So obviously we know where your inspiration came from. What was ultimately the thing that you said, okay, I've got these ideas, now I want the world to know about them? What was that transition?
Okay, well, this is actually really interesting. It happened one day while I was meditating, and it was just one day where it seemed like everything just clicked. I could see every moment of my entire life that had been leading up to this one specific moment where I had all of this information in my brain, and I just became aware of all of the knowledge that I had, all the valuable knowledge as far as meditation, and then of all of the knowledge that I knew about how I could express it through, the internet, specifically through Kindle publishing. And just one specific day, it just all came together, and I just instantly knew, like, that Kindle publishing and that writing a book about this was the way to do it. It was the way that I could passionately express my thoughts and ideas,
Mhm.
and that I could just write it in a way that would leverage as much action as possible, so that I could let as many people know about it as possible.
Yeah, well, what a good platform. So what was your exposure to Kindle publishing up to that point? Were you involved in groups? Did you have a friend that was involved in it?
Well, I, first got into Kindle publishing, sort of not through a great sort of strategy. And I was doing what you're talking about earlier, the shotgun method.
Hey
Yeah,
man,
like
I'm pointing one finger, but there's three fingers coming back, man.
yeah. So, I'll totally admit it. I was one of those guys that thought the shotgun method was it. And, to just seek out certain, profitable niches and to really just shoot out a whole bunch of books that didn't relate to one another. And I really didn't even feel confident enough in them that I didn't even put my name on them.
Wow.
And
So you wrote them yourself, or did you outsource?
I outsourced them. So I was like
Okay.
doing the whole I outsourced writing and the covers and the reviews and it seemed like I was just a mastermind behind an evil plan almost. Like not that's I don't like almost evil is almost like a bad word because I don't
Yeah.
bad word to describe it because I wasn't intentionally trying to spread like bad information, but I
Yeah.
wasn't providing the value that I was asking. And so, that whenever that didn't work out, I really just started to make it my own thing and to do the writing myself and to really write about topics that I'm passionate about, so that whenever people read it, they're really intrigued by it and they want to keep going back to it and reading it over and over again, because every time that they read it, they get new information. And that the words mean different things every time that they read it. And because that's what I love in books that I read, so I wanted to create a book that was like that for other people. And so that's what I wanted to make with the power of meditation. And people have liked it so much that it became a bestseller. So I think that really just speaks for itself.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so funny. I actually had this conversation, I think, with my buddy Kevin, and Kevin has done both methods, and you have as well, where it's you hire out a freelance writer or you write it yourself. And I don't know about you, even though I've invested money in a writer to put out a content, I almost feel almost more invested in work that I didn't pay for, but I wrote myself. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's just a way for it to become part of your life, which can make it even more meaningful.
Mhm.
You can gain more of a meaningful experience that can make you happier, which is the whole reason why I'm so interested in internet marketing and with Kindle publishing, is because it's an avenue for me to really pursue what I'm passionate about, and really have as many available options as I want with different topics to talk about. It's an avenue for me to express myself. And if you treat it that way, you can gain so much more than money. You can gain happiness, and that to me is way bigger than making a couple $1,000s off of a book or just whatever. I wanted to be happy. And so that's why I started writing the books myself. Just like you said, you feel more invested. And I once I started doing that, I realized that I would never go back to outsourcing writing. It was just no question. Writing it myself was way better.
Yeah, yeah. Make no mistake about it. I still write my content, but there are certain tasks that I will hire out. Like for instance,
Yeah,
every
yeah,
now and then I'll
absolutely.
hire out like a cover designer, or
Oh
I'll
yeah,
hire out just other smaller type things. So there's nothing wrong. I don't. Hopefully, people aren't paying attention to this, and they're just like they outsource all of their stuff. I don't. Forrest and I don't want to communicate to you that it's terrible and it's awful. I know, for instance, Diwan Bainey has been wildly successful with hiring out people. He doesn't really write his own content, but he delivers value, and he's become insanely successful in the self-publishing business.
yeah,
So, yeah, we're not poo-pooing on it by any stretch.
yeah.
Hopefully, am I saying that right at all, Forrest?
Yeah, absolutely. And a point that I want to make is, obviously I'm not going to be the best at everything. I'm not going to be the best cover designer. I'm not going to be the best writer, and I'm not going to be the best editor and the best promoter. I'm not going to be the best at all those things. But what I am doing is I'm deciding what I will be the best at and what I will make in this process the best of my abilities, what I will do. And so for me, that's the writing part. So everything else, basically, I still want my book to be the best quality possible. So I will outsource, I will outsource the cover. I will outsource the editing and all sorts of things like that. But the point that I'm trying to make is there has to be some sort of input from yourself if you really want to enjoy what you're doing, because that is, you want to enjoy this process. You don't want to just do this Kindle publishing and use that as a trade where you could have been like a stock marketer or something like that, or stockbroker. A stockbroker, may or may not enjoy their job, and a lot of them don't. You don't want to be one of the people that don't enjoy what you're doing, regardless of how much money you're making. So I just try to find a way to enjoy what I'm doing, and I get really involved in the writing process. And so that's why I don't like to outsource it, because I want to make this part of my thing. So it's not bad to outsource. It's just
no, not bad.
About what you're doing, and try to find some enjoyment and some sort of fulfillment that you can gain from this process, because that's what it's all about, is just finding happiness.
Yeah, I think the one argument maybe is this, and hopefully you have some kind of rebuttal, or let me just hear from your standpoint. A lot of people say, well, you can't scale yourself. Obviously there's only one of me, so there's only going to be, a certain number of Dale L. Roberts books that are going to be put out. Same thing could be said for Forrest Neal books, is there's only one Forrest, so therefore there's only going to be so many books that you can put out. So for those that want to scale their business, what would be your recommendation to them? Because it's all well and good that you and I could be able to do that, but
okay. So what I would say is that you might be scaling in I don't want to say the wrong way, because there's obviously a whole bunch of different ways that you can go.
Yeah.
But think about what the best way is to scale. So yes, I can only write about, a certain amount of topics, but I can scale the amount of people through, interviews who will get to know about my books. So by scaling, I can, by scaling my audience, or by the amount of people who can get to know me, all I need to do is just do a whole lot of more interviews, guest blog posts, make more YouTube videos. I'm not trying to make more money by talking about more things that I have no clue what I'm talking about. I'm going to, promote myself in a way where more people are interested in what I have to know about things that I actually care about, not things that I just, am pursuing to make money. So yeah. I think, just because I'm not, writing about every single idea that has come to my mind, it doesn't mean that I'm losing money in any way, because that just means that the better that my books are, the more attention that they'll get, which is, the whole reason why I, have gotten into this.
That's beautiful. I love your answer. The fact that scaling doesn't just mean shooting out a bunch of books, but sometimes it's focusing on the quality and then scaling it in different ways. So you mentioned doing interviews. This is definitely one of the ways. You'll be able to get some good promotion this way. Is it okay? I mentioned something about Jason. Is it finalized? Okay, yeah. So you're going to get interviewed by Jason Brock over on his channel. So that right there is huge exposure. So that's the thing, is reaching out to him. Question for you: how does one go about getting onto shows like this, or onto blogs, or over onto podcasts?
Okay. Well, through this process that I've gone through, that the feedback that I've been getting from other people is that what separated me was how genuine and passionate I came across as being. So
agreed.
I'm being very I'm very open and transparent with everything that has led up to me to to getting to this point where I'm asking you, for an interview or for whatever, why I feel justified. I'm not just asking you. I'm sort of telling you why I think we would be a great fit and what sort of experience is giving me this idea that we would work well together. I'm being very just genuine and being real with people, because that is a big thing that a lot of people had told me that has separated me from other people, is just that I was willing to tell a lot of the deepest and darkest things, that a lot of people wouldn't tell, like a physical dependency to a prescription drug. A lot of people would not be willing to tell that, but I've realized that is an obstacle that I've overcome that has made me into the person that I am now. So it's empowering to me that I overcame that. And the fact that I can express that to people in a genuine way is just really what sets me apart. So I would say be real, be honest, and don't try to, ask for something that you really don't deserve,
Yeah, it's funny. I do run into this, and hopefully this is kind of a message to people. Hey, feel free to reach out to me on Facebook, but don't make it weird. I get some people where they will just out and out come out. Hey, can you interview me on your show? Well, hi, how you doing? My name's Dale. What's your name? There are times I'm just kind of like, with you, it was funny. I think you and I kind of passed each other through various conversations and Facebook. And eventually, I think I was in the airport with my wife, and I was reading like something you'd posted, and I was like, Forrest Neal. Forrest, do you know that name? I was like, I swear I know this guy. And I just, I think I shared that with you, and it was so funny. But I think I just saw a few of your posts and things like that, so it kind of stuck with me, because the fact that you don't. It's not that like you're an asshole. Okay, don't mistake authenticity for being an asshole. Okay, you can be authentic, but also you can be tactful. And I think that was something that spoke to me with Forrest. He was very genuine, very sincere, and he was like, "Hey, what's happening? I've watched a few of your videos." He of course stroked my ego in that regards, and. And we just kind of hit it off, and we sat down for a video chat. And actually, you never really came out and said, hey, I want to be interviewed on your show. You're like, hey, let's collaborate on something. And I was just like, done, let's do it. I'm always up for collaborations. I love to have fun with this. So, but the further that you and I had talked, I was like, no, dude, I'm like, we got to get you in an interview, because I wanted to share what you are bringing to the table. It's so unique, and it's so refreshing. So I want to backtrack a little bit. Let's go back over to your meditation book. Let's talk about the title. Okay. That is something I see, a lot of people get hung up on niches, and you kind of at least covered that ground right there in niche selection. Let's talk about the title. So you knew you were going to write a book on meditation. How did you get on the title? What was it that really got you to settle on that? And how powerful or impactful do you think it was to your sales?
Okay. Well, I think that the whole avenue that I took with with the title was I just needed a way to make a title that would get people over the sort of baggage that the word meditation that it comes with. And so I needed some way to express how beneficial meditation can be without people thinking that I'm saying that if you start meditating, then you'll join this sort of religious group, and then from that group's perspective, you will view the benefits. I wanted to just explain, through the title, and create some interest by saying the power of meditation. And just with that title, I think a lot of people really became just sort of intrigued by how something that they've heard about but haven't really investigated could be so influential that somebody thought that they should create a title called The Power of Meditation. Now, every book that, we've, viewed that has, the power of, there's lots of them. They've, for the most part, been very insightful and fascinating books. And I think that by also having that, the power of, it was a phrase that a lot of people are used to that sort of symbolizes the intrigue that comes with the in-depth knowledge of a certain subject. So it really just opened up the door for a lot of people. All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, every now and then you're jiggling and your wire is cutting you off.
Okay. So anyways, the last time or whenever I created the power of meditation, the phrase of it was something that a lot of people are attracted to in those types of books. There's lots of books with the title "The Power of," and the power of phrase sort of symbolizes the intrigue and in-depth knowledge that is normally contained within a book with the title "The Power of." And so I wanted to use that title so that people could view meditation as being something much more than what they had originally considered it to be. And it has really worked. It's, a big reason why I became a bestseller, not only because, it's a great book that other people have been sharing with their friends, but also because it was attractive to other people. It made them open their eyes a little bit and try to want to sort of investigate a little more into the subject. And so the title can be a very important aspect of it, and it really has been a very big part of my success with the book.
Now, what's there's a subtitle to it, correct?
Yes.
What was the subtitle, if you don't mind me asking then?
Okay, the subtitle was Zen Guide to Meditation and Living a Stressful and Peaceful Life. So,
okay,
a less stressful and peaceful life. So that subtitle is something that I've sort of been changing because as I'm adding more information to the book, it starts to bring on a different sort of meaning. There are different topics that I cover in the book, and so this isn't just a book that I put online and just left it there. I really wanted to utilize the aspect that it's self-published and that it can be edited. And so I've been just reinventing the book almost several times. So that is a big reason why the subtitle, and especially just with Kindle publishing, how powerful it can be, because just because your book sucks one time doesn't mean that it always has to suck.
That's true. Yeah, I'm glad you've taught me that one, because I could have used that one 2 years ago. I used to just put out these abominations, and I was like, screw it, and I just throw them out and just call it a day.
Yeah.
I love how you tweak it. So you don't always just publish it and say, forget about it. You go back and you try to improve on it to provide a better customer experience then.
Correct. Yes. I think that's absolutely fundamental. Almost every sort of successful business does that. I mean, who creates a product and leaves it there and just doesn't make changes to it or doesn't try to improve it? What sort of successful person does that? I mean, there may, be a few sort of things, just few, products. Just I really just can't even name something right off the top of my head that's something that someone didn't just try to improve upon it. Like no one successful just throws something out there waiting to see what happens and then doesn't do anything about it, doesn't try to maneuver and try to optimize what they've created. I mean, everyone's successful in some way, tries to improve upon it or create a better version of it. They're not just throwing something out there and seeing if it's going to be successful. And if it is, just leaving it how it is. They're trying to build upon it. And so that's the principle that I try to take with my books for sure.
Yeah. I think that's where we have an advantage as self-publishers versus traditional publishing. As you know, for traditional publishing, there's a lot of red tape. You sign a contract, you get only a percentage of all your sales, a very small percentage. And then on top of that, you're stuck with a particular incarnation of a book. Whereas self-publisher, you can change it from 1 hour to the next if you wanted to. Am I correct?
Yeah, I mean, you can, that's the great thing about Amazon is they just allow you to do that. And it is just so amazing how much of an opportunity that you have with Kindle publishing and that Amazon is giving us. It's just unbelievable how much potential that you can use with this and how much of a decision or how much you can control in this process. It's amazing how much they let you do. So Kindle publishing is definitely something that I'm going to be pursuing for a long time, because it's a great avenue, to pursue not only just making money online, but pursuing your passions for sure.
Absolutely. And I can't agree with you more. This is something that growing up as a boy, I always wanted to write. And it was so funny that this opportunity has presented itself. There's a lot of people that come into this business to make, it's kind of the stepping stone. They want to kind of go up to bigger and greater things. And I have no qualms or issues with those people. It's the people that come in and do it in unsavory ways. Doing black hat tactics and spammy and scammy type things where they're going to ruin it for us. This reminds me, and Forrest, I love to share this. When I was a personal trainer, I worked in a privately owned chain gym, and there was other trainers within our team. I'm looking over here like someone's going to tell me the answer. There's nobody here, by the way, except for my cat. You'll hear her coming in and out. Well, we had a group of us, and all of them were great trainers. But I got to tell you, there was one dude. Oh, man. Oh, good Lord. He was a fucking hot mess. And this guy, hopefully you guys will understand the analogy when I'm all done with this. This guy would come in, his shirt would be all disheveled, like he hadn't washed it in the last 2 or 3 weeks. Dude probably smelled like straight up BO. His shirt would like fall out of his pants, like it would untuck. He had a belly on him. Oh yeah, a personal trainer that wasn't in good shape, nor was he trying to get in good shape. And the guy was just awkwardly obnoxious. It wasn't like he was trying to be obnoxious, but he just would. He would do things like he would go up to people and he would talk to people on the floor, because he was always, you got to go out and prospect, you got to talk to the people in the gym. He'd go up to like women, and I swear to God, and I'm sure my wife's going to start laughing in the background when I say this one, he went up to a woman and said to her, she's already laughing, she knows where this is going, "Hello, ma'am. Are you happy with the way you look in the mirror today?"
Oh my gosh.
Oh my Lord.
Oh
he might as well
God.
just went up and just be like, "Hi, I'm a personal trainer. Would you like to hire me?" He probably would have been way successful, more successful than that. And the woman was like, "Pardon me?" And he repeated it to her. She just like, this woman was furious, just foaming at the mouth. The problem was, this guy's going over and he's shitting in our shared community of a bed. We're having to go there. So he's acting obnoxious. He's looking, disheveled and smelling like rank ass BO. And he's going over there. So you see some of these people, same thing in self-publishing. You get some of these people that are like, "I'm here to make the money. Fuck you. And I don't care how I do it." You got these people that go over and they get paid reviews, or they steal content, or they republish shitty books that aren't fucking doing worth of shit. You've got the right idea. I love this. Instead of sitting there going, "Well, it sucked in the first 30 days. let me go ahead and republish it and trick the Amazon algorithm. Yeah, I've had a few thumbs down for me sharing my thoughts when it comes to this whole republishing tripe. If you've got to go continually republish the same content just to trick Amazon to get your paycheck, shame on you. Get out of our gym. We don't want you part of the team. And nobody likes the fact that you just went up to a treadmill and represented all of us in self-publishing by saying, are you happy with the way you look in the mirror today? Yeah, he sounded like that, by the way. He really sounded a little off.
Wow, that's just wrong on so many levels. But I love the analogy that you are the ideas that you're trying to express with that story. It's a great it's a great way to change people's minds about this entire process of Kindle publishing, because it just almost seems like people have been the idea has been burned into them that if all they do is just create these short, crappy books, that they'll find success.
And people have done it, but I'm going to say that it is far less than what some people would think.
Absolutely. And the times have changed. I mean, the standards are higher. More and more people are checking out Kindle books. So that's more people, to judge your stuff. And if they don't like it, then you're going to get more bad ratings. And it's just the standards now are at a point where you might as well, do what you're passionate about within this business, so that you're not making yourself look like an ass whenever people are looking up, your stuff online. You're not somebody who's just talking and doesn't really understand what they're talking about. You're somebody who has like in-depth knowledge and who has actually gone through this process, and you can really only do that by pursuing your passion, not by paying somebody to write about some topic that you don't even know how much information they know, and all they know is they're just going to go online and Google some stuff. And whatever they find may or may not even be correct information. But you have no way of even knowing whether or not the information that they're bringing back to you is correct if you're not even interested in what you're asking them to make for you. So it's more risky now, in my opinion, to outsource writing than it is to write for yourself. You really have to know what you're talking about if you want to be successful in this business.
Absolutely. And something that I was noticing, probably about a year ago, it seems like the herd's starting to thin a little bit. It's starting to thin out. We're starting to see a lot less of these, fly-by-night self-publishers. But, some people would just hire the writers and they wouldn't so much as read a single page. They would just put it up and say, here you go, and just trust that it was good. And I'm like, every single person, here's, fact, every single person that I ever hired, I read every last word of their book, every last word. And I didn't just do it once. It was multiple times, because I wanted to make sure that I, as a person, because I am a reader before I'm ever a writer. If I ever had to choose between one or the other, I'd rather read. I love writing. I love creating books. But to a certain extent, I am still just a fan at heart. So, if ever the ability was taken away from me for writing, I would always just at least appreciate sitting down and reading a good book. But, some of these people they just throw crap up. So I love the fact that you're sharing the fact that it's like, man, get into something. Don't put out a werebear, shapeshifter book if you're not interested in it. I know that it's profitable. I know it's a great niche, but listen, and I've said this analogy also in another video, to where it's like, it's like an all-you-can-eat buffet. You sit down. If you don't like Brussels sprouts, don't fucking eat it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't need to eat it at all. It's just, honestly, it might be great for some people, and some people really love Brussels sprouts. But if you don't like it, don't touch it. There's so much more profitable niches out there that you might actually like.
Absolutely.
For instance, I just more recently reached out into children's books. Now, a lot of people are like, children's books are shocked. I'm a kid at heart, and my wife knows this. She'll catch me watching cartoons. Yeah, I'm a guy. I sit and I watch cartoons. So what? I cry during friggin', sappy movies, whatever, that's the way I am. And so that's why I reached out into children's books, because I love cartoons. I love creating something that can inspire young children. I've got, workout books. I don't bother with shapeshifter books. I don't get them. Same thing with the bondage books. Is there anything, am I saying they're bad or wrong? No, they are definitely profitable. But you better be into bondage and S&M or shapeshift and werewolves if you like that. Don't just say, oh, well, it's profitable, let's go ahead and do that. That's all well and good, but I'm going to tell you, your chances of success are starting to slim down. If you don't like it, it's going to go down even further. And here's the thing is, if you have zero business sense about how to actually get out and market your book, put it out there and get it in front of the audience that you do it, you've really narrowed it down. So no, listen, you're not going to be able to hire out a writer to do your werebear shapeshifter romance with the bondage and S&M of 50 shades of gray, blue, and green and everything in between. So
absolutely. And something that I'd like to ask myself whenever I'm trying to pursue a goal, with whatever it is in my life. And I just like that. I try to visualize someone who is successful at what I'm trying to do. So in my perspective, I'm visualizing, certain people like Jack Kornfield who have written books about meditation. Your audience may or may not know him. But he's just a guy who's very popular within the meditation community. Lots of great information, and I'm asking myself, what do I need to do so that I can be more like that guy? How can I create the things that he creates? I'm sort of just asking myself, with what I've just created, do I deserve to be successful? Does this product, is it deserving of all of this positive attention that I'm assuming that it's going to get? And if I can't confidently say yes, then that product needs more work. It doesn't need to be absolutely perfect, but it needs to be at least to the point where I'm comfortable with it in the sense that I can visualize myself as being somebody very similar to a successful person who is doing the same thing. So, that's just a really, big thing, big aspect of what I do. That's just, absolutely fundamental.
Yeah, it's really, you got to model the successful people that are out there. And now I'm not telling people to directly plagiarize or completely filch. So let me, since we're on confessions here, you mentioned, I don't think I've heard of Jack Kornfield. I've heard of Jack Canfield before, but I don't know, they're probably two separate authors. Yeah, Jack Canfield's Chicken Soup for the Soul.
He's much more well-known than Jack Kornfield, but you should definitely check out Jack Kornfield's books. They're absolutely fascinating, and he's well written too. So
nice. I definitely will look into that. My so confessions here, and there's a good possibility, if anybody knows me pretty closely, will know that I'm a huge fitness fanatic, always have been, but over the last couple of years, I actually latched onto somebody who was super successful, or is actually, and he's growing like just phenomenal. The guy's name's Michael Matthews. Michael Matthews is a fantastic fitness writer. The guy is, let's say this, on a bad day, he's fucking jacked. On a good day, he's ridiculously in shape. He's got his own YouTube channel. He's got his own supplement line. He's got great books, great content. And I really, I think to myself, okay, I look at some of the things that I like about his books. I love the conversational tone that he has. And that's where I really try to, start to say, okay, because originally when I went into this, I got too wordy. I tried to be smart in my writing, and I tried to, get these big, eloquent words, and I got a little bit overboard. And it was so funny. My editor tore it apart, man. I was like, oh God, why? No. yeah, editor just ripped it apart.
Yeah.
And she just simply was just like, you got to keep it simple. Talk like you're having a conversation with people. And then I look over at Michael Matthews' books and I'm like, damn it, she's friggin' right. And this guy has multiple #1 bestsellers currently on the market. And he just tears up the charts. The guy delivers great value. And, here's the thing, he's very real. He's very approachable. So yeah, that's one of my favorites. One of the people I like to watch and see just develop and such. So yeah, that's where I model my success. And it's great to hear you kind of, connect on that level. So at any rate, I started talking a little bit about your title and your subtitle. I want to kind of dig just a little deeper on that. Hopefully you don't mind.
Okay.
I'm a picker. If I see a scab, I'm just going to keep picking at it. I'm weird like that. So I'm going to pick at this title and subtitle. So you found what the market was looking for. Okay. Isn't there some portion of you that you find yourself questioning if it's going to be successful before you launch it?
I think with the strategy that I take, quite honestly, keywords, if that's what you're alluding to, on
the money, brother. Yep.
Keywords are not something that I view to be as just absolutely huge. I mean, they're important, and it's great to have keywords in your title and subtitle, but to be honest, the approach that I take it's not dependent upon the keywords. Okay. So, and especially if you want to become like a best-selling author, keywords are great, but it's not absolutely essential. I mean, there have been just absolutely books that have just terrible sort of titles that actually get like a lot of attention just because they're just so radically different, and that they don't necessarily attract the people who are typing in this word. It's really like about word of mouth. So to be honest with you, I knew this book was going to be successful before I created the title and the subtitle, because I knew that the content inside it would be worth sharing. So yes, title and subtitle are great, but they're not absolutely essential.
Gotcha. Excellent. So it's just a small piece to a larger puzzle.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, you still need it, but it's not as important as everybody or as a lot of people think it is. That it's so it's hard to define the importance of something like that. But, because I obviously have gotten people who have typed in the word meditation who have bought my book based upon that keyword. But there's no other word that I can describe the exercise that I do other than using the word meditation. And the approach that I was using whenever I'm creating the title, it was sort of like, what do I think feels right? That is much more important to me, and what a lot of readers think. What title feels right whenever they're reading it. That's in my opinion, much more important than having a keyword filled title with every other word being some searchable, keyword for people to find.
Where it's like 4 lines long. Hang on. Funny. I got the Amazon store open right now. Let's see if we can find one of these fine examples. What do you say here? Oh yeah. This is like a live on the air clap or crap. So let's go ahead, Forrest. I'm going to get some honest feedback, and of course I'll offer mine. So why don't we look up? We were already talking about Werebear Shapeshifter. Let's go ahead and look at Werebear Shifter Romance. I'm going to go ahead and attack the very first one that pulls up here. Oh, here we go. So what do you think about this title, buddy? I'm going to read to you. Stay with me on this one, and I will make sure I tell you when there's colons and there's things. By the way, this is already five lines long.
Oh my gosh. So a paragraph.
All right, here we go. So it's Werebear, Secrets of the Werebears 1 - Werebear Shifter Romance, parentheses, Werebear, werebears, comma, romance, comma, werebear romance, comma, werebear shifter romance, comma, bear shifter, comma, bear shifter romance, parentheses, that's it. Holy crap! Did I just read a novel in that title?
Yeah, you did. It was a complete paragraph. I mean, that was just unbelievable.
And you know, here's the thing. Let me go ahead and scroll down because I'm sure it might be doing pretty good ranking. Yeah. Oh man, it's fair. It's actually a free book, so it's probably a perma-free. They're trying to build an email list of some sort. They're at the 2,400 mark. Which is fair. And if you don't mind me saying, I'll go ahead and just interject my professional opinion. If you're in the free store, 1,000 or less, always great. Anything above that, you got shit. Sorry. I've got quite a few perma-free books that are at the shit level. Do I care? Not really. If you're looking to build an email list, great. But if you're really looking to try to dominate that particular market of free books, 1,000 or less is always best, 1 to 1,000. So, yeah, this isn't doing all that great. So this is probably a good prime example of what you're saying. They went fucking nuts. Like, why did they say werebear 50,000 times in the title?
Yeah. I mean, if you saw that book in a bookstore, would you buy it? Absolutely not.
The funny thing is actually the cover. It's not worthy of clap or crap. I can't say that right now. I wish I could share it with you. It's not worthy of clap or crap. It's one of those borderline ones. It almost looks like one of like you'd see like a cheesy video at a freaking Blockbuster, which I don't think there's any Blockbusters in existence. So if you happen to be in a Blockbuster store and you find the Secrets of the Werebear Clan or whatever the name of that thing is. So, okay. All right. Ready. All right. So I'm going to be completely biased on this one. I'm not going to say, I'm going to try to keep a straight face when I read it to you. All right. Okay. So I'm going to give you another one here. Hang on. Let's see if we can find another one. And you and I are going to have a little laugh. By the way, if any of these happen to be your book, sorry. No offense, but your title is spam and it's garbage. Bear with me here. Let's look up a different one. What do you say? Let's go back to werewolf. Let's go traditional here. What do you say? Werewolf shifter romance. Oh my sweet Lord. Okay, here we go. I was looking at all the options, by the way, not trying to spoil it for you. Ready for this? All right. Straight face. Scene. Romance, bought by the Alpha Wolf, BBW paranormal shapeshifter romance, parentheses, werewolf romance, comma, BBW, comma, paranormal shifter romance, parentheses, shapeshifters mate, parentheses. Forrest.
Is there actually a title in there? Or?
I don't even know the name of the fucking book. Let me look at the title. Okay, the cover actually says "Bought by the Alpha Wolf" by Ashley Sexton. And let's, before I go bashing this any further, it's $192,000 in the paid store. Ashley, clean up that fucking title. There's a good reason why no one's buying it.
Please God.
You're breaking up, Forrest. I think your cord must be going bad or something.
Okay. Well, how can you hear me now?
You're just kind of choppy. I can kind of hear you, but you sound like Cher in that one song, "Life After Love." Oh, lost you altogether, man. He's working on it here. We're live, folks. It don't matter. That's how we roll here. While you're getting that issue resolved, make sure you just shout in when you have it, because I can't hear you at all. Let me just go ahead and just screen share. I will show you, Forrest, what I was dealing with. There we go. Oh, isn't that just awesome? Bought by the Alpha Wolf. So stop sharing. Hopefully we can get you your microphone fixed here. No, I don't hear you, buddy. Damn, go figure. We have 5 minutes left to the end of our hour. Still don't hear you, buddy. Yeah, you must have some bad headphones. Well, shit. That's what we get when we go live on the air. Can you try unplugging it and just talk directly into your computer? Because it might have a little bit of an echo. It won't hurt. No, I don't hear you, buddy. No. Don't sweat it. I don't think we have any live viewers, and I could probably just edit this out later on. You go into the settings and then set it automatically to your default on your computer. No. Well, we'll go ahead and go into the wrap up, man. And what we can always do is just connect afterwards. So as we start to wrap up the show here on Self-Publishing with Dale L. Roberts, I do want to thank you. If you happen to tune in today, despite a few technical difficulties along the way, it's been such a blast. Forrest, I definitely would love to get together with you very soon. I know for sure I'm going to be getting you to collaborate on one of our fun videos together, possibly get some of your insights on some of these fun and exciting books. So in any event, thank you very much, Forrest, for coming to the show. Folks, I'm actually going to leave an affiliate link in the description below. Go check out his book. You can check it out through Kindle Unlimited, or you can even purchase it. To me, I think it actually is pretty good value at 99 cents, for crying out loud, right now. I don't know if he's going to raise or lower it at this point. Are you going to raise it? Nope, he's shaking his head. So that's a buck for a book, man. Come on. Help support a self-published author. Go on over there, support Forrest. In the meantime, thank you very much for tuning in, Forrest. Thank you for coming to the show. I'm just going to go ahead and call it a day. Thanks, folks.